Hi, hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I have a son, Owen, and he helps me paint the backgrounds of our paintings. And I'm trying not to laugh because I do a lot of flowers. I try to make myself do something different, but flowers just tend to be where I'm at right now. So instead of doing my little bunch that I've been wanting to constantly do, I'm doing a random bunch. So join me in this journey of flowers, and we'll see where it leads. And I always generally say I paint one paintbrush with all the colors for all the things. Well, today I'm going to try to use a couple different paintbrushes in a couple different ways, and we'll see what happens. I'm not promising. I am not promising nothing. Because generally what happens is I think I'm going to do it one way, and then I still go back to my little self of happening the way it happens. So we're attempting to break the mold. So subscribe for the flower journey. Also, because I share our journey with autism, and I share Owen's adventures as well when we go places and do things. So please come on the journey. I always say that roses are probably like the hardest thing for me to even attempt to do. And so, Alexa, stop. I forgot she was on. She likes to give me timers that never go off when they're supposed to. I don't know if anybody else has that problem. And she doesn't know the difference between a timer and a reminder. So, I don't know about that. But anyways, my roses. I tend to have a problem creating a rose that actually stays looking like a rose. So if we get it anywhere close to resembling a rose, I'm gonna be kind of happy. And it's actually, it may be hard to see on there, but there's two different colors in this mix. And so I always say I like to watch paint dry. And I like to watch paint dry for this particular reason. I like to see what it does when it dries and how on certain canvas colors it changes. And so that is kind of my focus right now, is to see how that looks once it's dry. And we shall see. That's always my answer. We shall see. I was thinking I was going to go all the way back with that, but instead, I might take and kind of do like a little let's see how that works in my ball of fun here. When I do these random paintings, I never know, well, when I do any of my paintings, I'll go from there. I never know exactly where anything's going to end up or how things are going to go. But these random ones like this, there's a little more cause for alarm. No, the wondering of what's going to happen next. So we just have to kind of keep going till it makes itself known. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. And I honestly have no clue. Like, we're just going with the flow. We're just gonna keep going with the flow. And I generally, when I'm painting, see, that right there is what I was just about to explain. I generally paint with one paintbrush and then have the too much paint on my paintbrush to do the painting, and then I end up doing what I just did, dropping it everywhere. And so sometimes what I think is going to be the story, the way it looks, is completely not the way it is because I have dropped paint. So that happens. That is the story of how paint happens with me. So it's all good though, because you learn stuff when you drop paint. You learn to adjust and kind of change things and figure it out. So that's what we're doing. We're figuring it out. And I, again, have no clue what we're figuring out, but we're just painting until we get done. And my mom has like the greenest thumb in the world. Me, not so much. And so, trying to kind of paint and figure out what I'm painting and all of that is always interesting because I really don't know what, like the names of my favorite flower. And a very kind person said Google it, and then you'll be able to understand what the translation is, because I always call them the grocery store flowers. I can never remember what they're really called. They're amarilla something to this effect. And they're the ones that you can get, like, 3 bunches for $10 or $20 probably now with all the prices and stuff. But they're always like in bunches, like the arrangements, and they kind of are like a baby lily. But I love them. And they're like tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of colors. And so I think it's because my mom is always like, she's the mom. She is the mom. She's always made me feel so happy and special, and just, celebrates those occasions and celebrates those non-occasion, and is there when you need the pick-me-up when you're having the bad day, and just all of it. And so she would always get me those, and we'd make a bunch of, like a bouquet with the different colors and such in it. And it's just, it's just exciting when somebody gets your favorite flowers, especially when it's my mama. But she is the green thumb. She can do all the flowers, and I just paint the flowers because that's what I do. And I started painting with Owen a few years back, and I can tell you it has changed my life. I started painting really for him to work on his fine motor skills because he has a hard time with painting or using like the paintbrush or utensils or anything like that. And so I truly started to paint for him, but painting has given me like this whole new world. And so as much as I've painting with him and for him, truly this is like about how much I love it and how much it means to me. So, and see, this is I was attempting to use all the different paintbrushes, but you can see I kind of gave up on that experience because this is the way I paint. This is the way I paint. I like to add paint as I'm going along, because then all the colors get to be shown. So that's what happens. And if I have to guess, shall anyone else guess which flower is probably going to get some color? Maybe I'll leave it, but we'll see. I generally like paint something and then I'm like, oh wait, I need something different right there. And that's generally what happens is what I think is going to be someplace does not stick around. So that's kind of where we're probably going to be with this. If I had to guess. Maybe I'll just put some blue in it or something. I'm not sure. But I can tell you it'll probably change. Let's see. I feel like if I can just add a little bit of color in it, maybe that'll maybe I'll be able to stick with it. Like if I can just kind of add, we'll see. I feel as though it's not going according to plan. This is what I'm telling you. Roses and me, and this is just my fake little rose, my pretend rose, but roses and me never go according to the way I think they should go. And so we're just going to keep adding. Keep doing what we're doing here. And I have a feeling that it's gonna... This is what happens. I can't leave it alone. So it's probably, if I have to guess, it's probably going to end up as like a whole different flower. And then we're all going to cry because like it's not going to be anywhere near a rose. We're not really going to cry because, you know, it's all going to work out. But, yeah, see, this is what happens. This is what happens. It completely had to change. It's all going to be okay. One day, I am going to let roses win. I'm going to figure out how to accept roses the way I make them and let them be. That makes me happier though, because it glows, it glows a little bit more. That, yes, and then that makes that one stand out better. I'm more content with that. I know. It happens every time. But I've learned to accept it. I've learned to just let go of the rose phase and say, okay, well, that's not what we had planned, but that's what we have done. So now I'm going to go back in and kind of brighten this one up a little bit. And like how paint will dry. And then I'm gonna add some more green to this. So it's kind of looking a little tropical, right? Maybe. Or maybe that's just what I want to dream it to be. And little wispies. I'm really liking this one. It was meant to be that way. That's what we just gotta, just have to accept it. I'm liking it though. This needs a little color in there. Just a little. Maybe. Some wispy of its own. And some random, kind of like little sparklers. I think it needs like a couple random green somethings. Okay. I think I'm gonna sometimes like I just want it to kind of, when it dries, it's gonna have a little variety. So there we go. I think I need it down here too. Just once it dries. Just want it to have a little extra texture. Okay, I think this is still a little green here. That's a little, same as what I was talking about, straight. Needs a little defined color. Because if you do all the same color, and I can tell you, I'm still learning, but if you do all the same color, then it fades away. So, I put a little more line in there. And then I am Okay, so I do O for Owen, and then L, and okay. So did anybody else guess the rose was going to be gone? Alexa, stop. See, she just has a mind of her own. Anybody else guess it was going to completely go away? Oh, okay. I think I'm done. Now, see, this is my paint, and so I smushed this around, and this is my paint blobs. This is what's left over, and so I'll make that flatter, and then it takes a couple days to really dry well, and then this is what happens when it dries, and then I peel that off of there, and I make paint blob jewelry. Whoa, glad that didn't fall on there. I've dropped things on there before, so I shouldn't do it like that, but that's how I do it. So, thank you for watching and being a part of our day. And if you liked spending time with me and our painting, please subscribe. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great rest of your day. Doodles.